everyone. We are back with more Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live on the phone, I welcome Chief of Police Paul MacDonald. Chief, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
So, Chief, we are here on the cusp of Labor Day weekend, and of course, our community service officers, those great young men and women with their bright yellow shirts, have been up and down Main Street all summer. They were going to stop service this weekend, but I understand that it has been extended until October. Tell me a little bit about why that decision was made.
The CSO program, it started last June, and we first went to the budget, first went to town council with our budget. The plan was to have the 6 kids working through Labor Day. But through the demand of the Hyannis bid, Hyannis Chamber of Commerce, the Hyannis bid, and town management, they've asked could we possibly extend it. In the old days, the summer really ended on Labor Day, but now it's been kind of extended through Columbus Day. So what we've done now, we've come up with a secondary plan where we're going to keep 4 of the young kids through until Columbus Day weekend, October 10th. So they will be at least 2 of them on patrol every day, 7 days a week, through at least until Columbus Day weekend. So that'll be a good deal for us and a good deal for the town. And 2 of the kids, they have commitment; they have to go back to school. So a couple of the kids will be leaving on Monday.
Great, and that was going to be my next question is, you know, what do they do in the year-round? And they look to me like college kids, so it makes sense that some of them are going back to school. But Chief, really, I know this was the first year of this program, and it seems like it was a really big success, went a long way for helping visitors on Main Street this summer.
We got a lot of positive feedback from everybody, from the chamber, from the bid, from the merchants down on Main Street. Everybody really enjoyed them. They were great kids. I mean, they were hand-picked kids, and they had great personality. And considering, you know, they did not have the authority of police officers, they weren't armed, they did not have a power arrest, but they really did a good job, and they developed some special relationships with some of the most problematic people down there. They became friends with them, so it was never confrontational, and it worked out very, very well. And as the program, hopefully we will continue next year also. This year we stayed primarily up on the west end, up on the east end. Next year we hope to extend it all the way down to the west end, down to C Street. So we're looking forward to it.
Sure, and do you think you might add some more officers next summer, or just in terms of increasing their territory?
We're looking probably to increase it by at least 2 additional community service officers. The 6 we have covered the east end. That was Main Street, North Street, South Street, all the way up to Transportation Center. You know, it's kind of a sizable area to patrol on foot. But then we'd also like to extend it so we have at least 2 officers would patrol the east end from High School Road down to C Street, but primarily just on Main Street. It won't be needed on South Street or too much on North Street. So, and we purposely designed the patrol areas not to be too large, you know, in case the officers needed backups. So the bicycle patrols and the regular foot patrols, the regular officers could get there quick enough to support them.
Great. Well, Chief, looking forward to seeing them on the streets at least for a few more weeks, and we'll look forward to bringing them back in the spring. So, Chief, let's talk a little bit. I understand there was a stabbing on North Street. What happened here?
There was a stabbing on North Street. You know, you can tell the traffic is starting to thin out, pedestrian traffic, motor vehicle traffic. You know, people starting to go back to school. Kids go to college. They pretty much left. But bar closing last Friday night, there was an incident at the North Street parking lot to the rear of 7-Eleven. One of our officers was on patrol. And he was flagged down and said there was an incident that just occurred in North Street parking lot. When he went over there, there was some people mulling around. Nobody appeared to be injured, and nobody really wanted to give a statement. But while he was there doing a follow-up investigation, he was notified via dispatch that somebody had just drove himself to the hospital with a minor stab wound to his left chest area. That individual was identified as Carlton Green, and he did indeed confirm that there was an incident on the North Street parking lot to rear of 7-Eleven. However, he was less than cooperative, and he gave a statement because of the level of intoxication that he was in. He was unable to give us a description or who was the stabbee. But we do have video of what happened, so we do expect to make an arrest next couple of days.
Great. So important to have that,
yes,
that
absolutely.
video. And it's unfortunate that we hear so often that the victims are not very cooperative in terms of trying to identify their assailant.
That's a huge problem, very problematic.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure that you know, you guys do as much as you possibly can to get you know, the victims to talk, but you know, if somebody just doesn't want to talk, they don't want to talk, right?
Well, they fear retaliation. They fear what's going to happen. You know, we've been dealing with this for the past 7 or 8 years. You know, especially when we deal with Ilya Zedov and we deal with Anthony Russ. You know, they rule through intimidation. You know, they made it quite clear that if you testify testify against us. If you talk to the police, this will happen to you. And they've followed up on it, and people are afraid.
Absolutely, and so well, good job there, and we'll look forward to hearing a word of a capture of the assailant. Let's talk, Chief, a little bit about the Bluecoats. This is such an important organization, works so hard to raise money and help out the police, and I understand that they are having their annual dinner coming up soon.
Their annual dinner is coming up next week. This is an event that we look forward to. Right now, I believe their membership is up to, 271 members. Their charter says they're going to cap the membership off at 300 members. This year's dinner will be at Oyster Harbors, and it's just a one time a year where everybody gets together and they have a great time. And this year, you may or may not know, but we have a drone. We have a relatively sophisticated drone. It's not as sophisticated, as complex as a military, but it certainly is a model or a hobby that everybody else has. It is equipped with a camera system, a video system, and the FLIR system, the forward-looking infrared system, which is a huge tool to have. The particular drone was extremely expensive. We do have it insured. We do have it registered with the FAA, and the Bluecoats purchased it for us. And we've already used it several times for search and rescue with a missing person out in Katuitt. This drone, as small as it is, basically almost has the same capability as a state police helicopter, because when you call it for the helicopter, it has a FLIR system, and the FLIR system picks up body heat on the ground. So if somebody's down, someone's unconscious, someone's laying on the ground, this system will pick them up. It's also great when you're executing a high-risk search warrant or arrest warrant. Rather than send a surveillance team in to find out what's going on, any hazards in the area, you can send a drone up, and the drone will be able to give you a layout of the entire situation. Is there a fence? Is there a pool? Is there a dog in the background? Is the bad guy there? Or the car is there? Who's there with them? So it's an incredibly useful tool to us.
Absolutely. Sounds really high-tech and amazing that it has the same capabilities, or almost the same capabilities, as a state police helicopter. I mean, certainly an investment, but not having to call the helicopter and having that at your disposal, certainly important, especially in cases like the missing persons case that you mentioned.
And the one out Katuitt, and when the helicopter showed up, it was given us a specific sector, to check, and right beside it, the drone was giving it a specific sector. Obviously, the helicopter can travel at a much greater speed and cover a lot more territory, and plus it's manned all the time. But the drone, it's right there at our disposal. We do not have to wait for the helicopter to show up. We can put the drone up and start searching right away. And one thing a drone has the capability of doing, because when you search for somebody, particularly during the summer months, when you have the canopy covered by the bushes and the trees, the drone has the ability to fly under the canopy and fly closer to the ground, where it would be much more effective.
Absolutely. Well, Chief, again, the annual dinner coming up very soon. That's not open to the public? Is that just the
it's not open to the public, just the membership.
Wonderful. Well, Chief, I thank you so much as always for joining us, and we will chat with you again next week. Have a great day.
Good talking to you.
Thanks much. Bye-bye. Chief of Police Paul MacDonald joining us as he does every Tuesday morning. Board, Committee, and Commission Roundup coming up next, but first, Captain Gary Brown.